Alright, the AD-20 American Rotary converter came. I basically pulled it in with the tractor, set it down here. These come bolted with 2 screws to a pallet. I've got that unbolted. Basically what I'm going to do now is take the tractor and lift and install the screws, and we're going to put this where it'll be useful over here next to the panel. And then I'll start installing the other top wiring. I actually got the top mount chassis, so everything will basically mount on top of this motor. But we want to get it in place and get these hooks used, because I think these hooks have to come off to mount that. Okay, we got the idler's actually set over there, and I'm going to push it in just a little bit further after I get it mounted. I just wanted to go over real quick. It basically comes with a nice step-by-step instructions. Cool little keychain. Product registration. For this AD-20, they recommended a number 4 wire. And I have a GE panel, got an 80 amp breaker, that way I'll be able to run this at full load. So this is what we'll be installing to get this to work. I'm guessing it's probably going to take about 2 hours to actually get this installed, mainly because it's so close to the panel. The machine's actually coming sometime tomorrow, hopefully. It shipped out this morning. It didn't arrive this afternoon, so I'm assuming it's going to get here in the morning. But I'm going to do the best I can to get this installed tonight. That way I can have power to the machine and hopefully get all the perimeters downloaded before I start cleaning it. Okay, I just got done putting the rubber isolation units under between these two. One tip that I'll give you is just kind of put it together. And you want to take your studs and push them all the way out for this AD-20. And they'll come really close to lining up. The knockouts are a little tough to get, but make sure that you end up with 4 of them. They'll look like that. And so what I'm going to do right now is I'm actually going to attach the stud that comes out of the rubber isolation bushing. It's underneath this, and that should get this mounted up. This is actually going to be isolated from the idler itself. Okay, we've almost got this connected, and basically I've got this run up to my panel. I've got an 80 amp breaker. I've got a ground and 2 hots run down to the rotary converter. I've hooked on their pigtail. One deviation that I did, they recommend using heat shrink or just electrical tape. But if you'll go to any Lowe's or Home Depot, you can find this moisture sealing electrical tape. Typically it's what you use in like a big 3-phase troughs and stuff like that to actually connect a bunch of wires together that are large. This stuff is basically, it's almost like self-vulcanizing rubber, and you wrap it around and it sticks. And then go back over that and coat that with electrical tape. and that'll seal up these nuts and bolt connections on this pigtail. Basically, I'm gonna tidy this up. I am gonna put the guards and covers on. I'm gonna do a really quick continuity test to make sure that I don't have any major connections wrong, because that would be bad. You know, short to ground, that kind of thing. And then we'll give it a try and then see what happens. Okay, we got everything checked off. Getting voltage down to the unit. We checked that, make sure that there's no dead shorts. If you haven't played with one of these, they do make some kind of strange noises when they start up. Obviously, they're gonna, you know, it's gonna have to kickstart this idler here. So don't let it start with you. Especially with this cover off, you don't want to, you know, fall or get into anything in the top. But I'm going to give it a go here and see what we end up with. And basically, these should start pretty much immediately. And the first thing you want to check is the voltages. And you're going to want to check between the generated leg and your other two legs. And this is relatively quiet. You know, I'm right next to it. It's about the same amount of noise as the AC unit that's just above my head here. And on these, if you've got any three-phase power motors, you really want to check for reverse rotation. If you have reverse rotation, you'll actually want to swap the non-generated phases coming out of your panel. So like I said, I've got this installed tonight. I'm going to put it back together and just kind of wait on the machine to get here. Hopefully it comes tomorrow, and if it does, I'll have three-phase power to hook it up and get started. The first thing I want to do is download the parameters. I know it does come with a sheet of all the parameters, but I really don't feel like typing those in again. But all in all, I'm really happy with it. As far as the American Rotary experience, they were great. Simple ordering. It would have been 2-day shipping. Just by default, they ship FedEx freight. FedEx had a couple problems with the packages. I called up American Rotary. I got on the phone with FedEx, found the package, and it arrived. It was probably about 3 days late, but that was all on FedEx. And they weren't super cooperative. Basically, they're wanting to get in touch with you to schedule delivery. This particular unit, I had this shipped to a commercial address, and it should have just happened, but it didn't. But like I say, American Rotary took care of it, and not only got in contact with FedEx, but had FedEx actually contact me and make sure that it got delivered. All in all, really the only time-consuming thing is, it's relatively big wire. This is running a number 4 down to the unit, and this here, your idler connection. Like I said before, I really highly recommend using that mastic tape and then coating that with electrical tape. I think that makes a lot better connection, and you won't have to worry about it ever wearing out or rubbing on something on the inside. I don't know if you noticed or not, but when you turn this on, you kind of get a little bit of jiggle, which everything in this box is going to jiggle. So the better you can get those connected, the better off you are. I'm just going to let this run for a little bit, and I'm going to double check all my voltages coming in, make sure I don't have any sway. Hope you enjoyed the video. There'll be another one to follow this. I've been pretty busy lately getting this machine, getting the old mini mill out. But I plan on videoing all of the basic setup and the delivery and that kind of thing.